just for goofs, I shut her down and denied. I said no. I was
Oh,
rude to her.
dang.
Leave me alone. I'd rather be alone right now. Believe me, love, that's a bad idea.
Okay, now it's starting to
Okay, I'd
change.
rather be alone. Okay, do you mind if I sit? What the? I literally just said I'd rather be alone, and you're just ignoring me, bro. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just gonna keep being. I'm just gonna keep her shut out. Look, I don't know you. It's like, I don't know you, and she just keeps going and talking. It's like, bro, I don't want to be your friend. Are you gonna make me spell it out to you, Alex?
That's funny.
I don't want to be your friend. Hello, welcome to Mustache Ride, episode 68. I'm Sherman Cool. This chap over here is the Dirty Tooth, and we're really glad to have you tonight. I'm a little under the weather. I'm just gonna come out and say it right away.
We are all under the weather, dude. That's literally how it works. Weather
There's
comes
a lot
from
of
the
weather
sky.
going on.
Weather comes
That's
from the
right.
sky. We're underneath of it all the time.
Hurricanes happening and stuff, and it seems like I got a little hurricane over my head specifically because I don't have the sniffles. That's the thing. It's a weird sickness. It's just a sore throat. So I got a cough drop in. I'm gonna try to refrain from making any crazy mouth noises. But just to let you guys know,
Ugh.
if you hear them, I got an excuse. Okay. So
There's never an excuse for a crazy mouth noise.
well, look, I'll just try not to let it happen so that you're happy.
Thank you.
Even though I'll be miserable.
As long as you don't just like openly spit like during the just.
I've been hacking up green stuff all day. I hope I got it all out.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I spit in the sink and I tried to wash it down the drain and it wouldn't go.
That's when you know you're
stuck.
That's when you know you're sick.
Sorry, look, don't leave yet. Okay, we have a whole episode. I didn't mean it. Tooth, how are you doing? Your mustache is looking really good lately.
Is it?
It's looking thick and full.
Let me see if I can show it, because I just got my driver's license in, let's see, does this say anything about
Careful.
me? I don't think it does. Okay.
Ooh.
And I saw that mustache and I was like, damn, dude, is that my mustache?
That's a whole ass mustache.
It is.
Find this guy in
Thanks, man. I haven't been trimming the sides of it. I've only been trimming like up here, trying to get it to like, I don't know, trying something new.
Are you gonna try to curl it eventually, or
nah? I tried that before. That shit is so much maintenance.
It's maintenance, and it's also just hard to train your stash to want to do that.
Yeah,
you have to use a lot of product. I'm good.
Yeah, it's just too much for me. I don't need that.
I was gonna say you look like you could be in like a Western movie.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
I'm not into Westerns, but like,
there's some good ones out there.
I'd be into being in a Western. You know what I mean?
Sure. Watching them, Westerns are probably one of the most boring genres of movie, but
that's true. Yeah.
But they're boring for a reason, and it's like a good kind of boring because it builds a lot. But yeah, I've never been super into Westerns. My dad was always really into Westerns.
I did go as a cowboy for Halloween one year.
Okay.
That was something. Let me see if I can find the.
You got a picture of you as a cowboy for Halloween?
I do, yeah. Because I borrowed the. It's a GIF, but.
That works. That's what I'm talking about.
It's not bad, right?
Howdy, partner. I went for Halloween one year. I went for I was Jack in the Box. I was Jack.
Oh,
because my uncle had like a paper mache Jack head that you could put on.
Yeah.
But before the night started, somehow, some way, the yellow hat broke off, and it was broken. It was done.
Yeah.
And I was at my friend's house. It broke. I don't remember how it broke, but I was still in a suit, as Jack, and so I left the head and the hat at their house. and they gave me a briefcase, and I just went as a lawyer. It was
so random.
It was the most boring thing ever. From like the best costume ever to just about the worst.
Yeah. Dang. That's gonna be the opposite of this episode, though. I think this is gonna be a banger episode. Not
It's going to
the
be a
worst.
good episode. Yeah. Quick housekeeping for this episode. Make sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. We like to see number get bigger.
Free. It's free. It's so free. It literally.
It's so free.
And if you can read the word subscribe, that means you could probably click on it too.
I'd venture to say that is correct.
Yes.
Not only will you get these episodes every other week, but you'll also get the videos that we release sporadically. There's not on a real schedule, but right now we're working on the next episode of Mustache Ride Versus, where the Dirty Tooth and I go head to head in a gaming challenge and see who comes out on top, see who's better. And so
most of the time, but
so far you're right. But we'll see if we can make that change. I will see if I can make that change. But yeah, also we have a Discord. Join the Discord. Links in the description. And then also check out our Patreon, where the majority of our content comes out a week early over there. So go check out our Patreon.
Yeah, and there's exclusive playthroughs of all the games that we do for Player Pass. Each of us play the game, but we sort of upload that exclusively to Patreon. Nowhere else.
Nowhere else. Doesn't go anywhere else.
Nope.
But yeah, that's it for housekeeping. Tooth, it's been a while since we had a chat.
True.
What have you been up to?
Living life, but not living in Minecraft. We died last episode yesterday. We died.
No.
Or wait, no, Thursday. Thursday we died.
You went on a good run though of not dying.
Yeah, we had all sorts of stuff. It was going awesome, to be honest with you. It was going a little too awesome,
Yeah.
A little too awesome. And then we decided we had everything we needed. We had an iron farm. We were gonna go mine for diamonds. Seemed like the natural progression of Minecraft, right? Kate and I got separated because we dropped into a hole. There was a creeper and a skeleton, and we were running, and we got separated, which is never a good thing in hardcore. And we were both trying to dig a hole to hide away from the skeleton, and the skeleton just bullied Kate, and she got popped.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me. That is an important part of the puzzle, but I felt bad about it. And she felt bad about it too, but we're back. The house, we're restarting. We built a house. We have farms again. We're working on the iron farm next. Man, it's just it's devastating.
Oh yeah.
There's something about Minecraft when you're playing it and you lose your stuff, right? If you're playing survival world and you're out really far away and you die and you lose your stuff, devastating. But when you enter spectate mode and you can't get back, it's just something about it is so hard.
It's like dying in real life.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's no coming back from it.
No, yeah, that's true. You
got to fully restart.
That's a full
Be reincarnated as a grasshopper.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. They don't have a very long lifespan.
No, that sucks. And you're killing them probably with pesticides.
Oh yeah. If you get reincarnated as a grasshopper, I'm gonna be the one to take you out.
Yeah, dang. That's gonna be that's a bad life. I don't want that. Nope. Anyway,
just for all your information at home, I do pest control as my day job, so it's not totally random.
We could make a game out of that,
I've thought about that so many times. Because there's different materials, different builds, or maybe it could be a RPG, pest control simulator.
Yeah,
that's got to exist by now, right?
I feel like it has to, but that's a good idea. All right, write that one down. Anyway, we're trying really hard. Also been playing Overwatch competitive, like I mentioned on last episode or episode before, maybe. I was gonna try to grind it. I was 2 games away of being out of gold in tank. So I've placed really well. I'm an aggressive tank, but I will say that I'm not bad at that role.
Sure.
I have room to grow. I am aggressive. I peek a lot. People keep me alive. If there's a life weaver, that's on point. Um, but I am getting really good at tank. Almost got out of gold, and then I ranked gold in all the categories or all the heroes.
Right.
So
Then the season ended.
then the season ended, and I haven't played the rest of my placement matches yet for the new season. But that's
Me neither.
I need to do that because I think I can get out of gold.
I've
At
been
least in
stuck
one
on
role.
the Halloween event lately.
Yeah, I played some of that the other day too.
I've been just grinding that. I've been playing so much of it. I don't I don't want to play anything else right now. I just want to keep playing that because I play damage and I want to get a certain build with Soldier
Mm-mm.
where he has like the Helix rockets cause burn damage and they
Yes.
also home in on the enemy. And then
Yeah.
also when you get a direct hit, it drops a healing thing
Yeah,
on you.
I got that one
And
the
then
other day.
also when you drop a healing thing, it sticks with you. And then also it lasts 200% longer. It's like all these things stack on top of each other to make you super OP.
Yeah.
And it's really fun when you get a really good build. And so it's like a roguelike competitive shooter. It's really interesting.
It is. I thought when I saw the Halloween event that the Junkenstein mode was going to be the only mode, and because that's just what it kind of seemed like. And
Yeah.
then I got into it and I played the Junkenstein one, and I was like, oh, it's like the same as last time. But then I scrolled down and found that mode, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I'm not normally into that kind of thing.
It's cool.
But it seems cool. I like it. Overwatch, that's a good move. Like it.
Not bad.
Good move. I like it. Um, and then I've been also thinking about what kind of game I should play next for my stream. Like, am I gonna go back to Animal Crossing and keep trying to grind to get to like beat Animal Crossing, which is like get all of the things in the museum, which is a
Oh,
suggestion from some people, um, or move on to something new. I haven't decided yet.
that's tough because I know you and I know that you like to beat the game that you start.
I do.
And you kind of shot yourself in the foot starting Animal Crossing because
Yeah.
unless you set a specific goal, you're not going to beat the game.
Yeah. The goal is to get all of the stuff in the museum.
Okay.
That's the goal.
That's a good goal. That'll
Yeah.
take a while though, still.
Yeah, I need to look into it to see like how plausible that is. Like if it's something that I just need to bring back every now and then because during certain times, like you can get this thing, but you can't get it another time. And I don't know that much about like jumping back and forth, like resetting my date and time on the Switch and like I don't know all the complexities that go into doing it. I'm not sure yet. But
Yeah.
that's something I've been thinking about of what I want to do
Okay.
because I'll be starting back into Animal Crossing on Tuesday or playing a new game. And
What's on your mind? What games do you have anything else? Do you have a short list of
I
other
don't
games you want to play?
I have like a bunch of things in my library, but I haven't honed in on anything that I'm like thinking of. Like
Yeah.
it's like I have a hard time like trying to think of whether I want to play like a long game, like if I wanted to start something like Tears of the Kingdom,
Phew. Yeah.
or if I wanted to do something like totally off the wall. I'm not sure yet.
Hmm.
I might comb over the Switch library. I don't play my Switch enough.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
There's always Metroid Dread.
I've never played a Metroid game outside of like the first, like the Nintendo NES one.
Metroid Dread is hard,
Yeah, that sounds.
but it's really good.
Is
Really, I really enjoyed it.
is it as hard as like a Souls like, you know?
No,
Okay, as long as it's not
no.
as hard as one of those.
It's just a lot of back and forth, a lot of running, and a
Yeah.
lot of like the bosses are fairly tough, but there's always a way. There's always a way that you're just like once you figure it out, you're like, oh,
Hmm.
now I just need to do that, and I can gain the advantage. Um, and then there's the Emmys, which are the like the robot things that you can't kill until a certain point. So you
Mm.
just have to run from them, and if they catch you, you have like a few frames to press a button to get away from
Oh.
them,
Oh boy.
which is not easy.
Yeah.
And so usually you just die, but it just sets you right back pretty close. So it's
Okay.
not that bad, but
Hmm.
it's nerve wracking. It's a good ass game. I really like Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I couldn't see you playing it. I couldn't see you beating it. It's probably too tough for you.
Dang,
Probably it's
dude.
probably too hard of a game for you.
Dang. I did a hitless run on Elden Ring. What do you mean? I didn't
Different
stream
kind of
it
game.
or record it or anything, but I did it.
Oh no, I believe you wouldn't lie.
Yeah, I don't lie.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
maybe I'll
think
give it a
about it.
shot. I'll think about it.
Think
Maybe
about
I'll
it.
give it a
Okay.
shot. And then the last thing, which is like kind of a work thing, but like I don't know, it's still kind of cool, like in the grand scheme of things. I got my drone pilot license. So my unmanned aircraft pilot license. I went
So
and
you
took an
can
exam.
bomb third world countries now.
No, not that big of a drone. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Smaller, like I could take a picture of you from the sky.
You're talking like 3 kill streak UAV kind of deal.
Yeah. Three, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a UAV. Nothing major.
Okay.
But it is kind of cool. Like I had to submit my application to the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration
Agency?
Agency
I don't know.
activation group. I don't know. I actually don't know what the last A stands for, but it seems really official. You got to send it in. You got to apply. I had to go take a test that was like 2 hours long, which
2
doesn't
hours? How like hundreds of questions or what?
60 questions.
Oh wow. That's
But
still you're spending a minute or two on each question and boom.
Yeah, you have to like read these like maps, these like insane like I'll show you one of the maps here.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll go live for you in Discord. This is like the type of map that you have to read, and like all of these little different things like mean something, like in the grand scheme of things. And dude, they're hard to read.
That's like Skyrim when you unlock everything on the map, every single thing. So you have icons just everywhere.
Yeah, and you
or
and
like
you,
Fallout
and,
New Vegas.
And you also like put icons down everywhere, like you put spots.
It's worse than that. Frankly,
it's awful.
Atrocious.
It's an awful map. I don't I still don't think I fully understand them, but I had to read them and pass the test. So I did that.
You did it.
Done. Yep.
Nice.
And now I'm done with what I've been doing.
Nice.
And
that's a pretty busy, couple weeks.
That's a busy couple weeks.
Yeah.
But you're always busier, I think. Or you at least play more games.
I do, yeah. I don't do a lot of other stuff. Besides being sick, getting over the slight fever and sore throat. I've also been playing some games. I finished Halo 3, so nice. Periodically I'll be talking about playing through co-op campaign with my boy Fatal Tone on Fridays, and last night we finally finished Halo 3, and it was so much fun. We got another buddy of ours, Stevie, in on the co-op campaign, and so it was the three of us. And if you know Halo 3, you know the final mission is the you're bombing in a warthog, you're bombing through, trying to get away, get away from the explosion before the ring goes off or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had to do and redo that section about 12 times. I don't know, because one of us would get left behind, or one of us would flip and have to flip back over, and the other person would keep going. And if we didn't all make it, then the rest of us would just go off the edge and we would restart, because we all had to make it as a unit.
Yeah.
And so finally we ended up making it to the end and finishing the game. And damn, still totally holds up. Really good game. Love Halo 3.
It was really funny watching you guys kind of fail at that scenario. It was just like
Yeah.
I was lurking in there the whole time, and between the team killing and just like driving the absolute wrong direction in the Warthog for some reason.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't like. I think it was. I don't know who it was, but there was. I don't know if it was Tone or Stevie, but like they were in front of you, and it showed where you had to go, and they just like literally like went this way. It was like not in line. You guys were following in line, and it was just like, I was like, what's going on?
I can tell you right now that was Tone, and he just drove right off. I think he was trying to look behind and also turn the other direction.
Okay.
And where Halo, wherever you look is the direction you're going. And so it was it was funny.
It was hilarious.
But yeah, we finally beat Halo 3. It took a while, but we finally beat it. I think we'll probably be playing Halo Reach next. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know for sure yet though.
That reminds me, I also need to play Halo Reach.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's the next game.
That might be the next game.
Okay.
That might be.
All right then.
Food for thought.
I've also been playing. Now I'm probably a couple years late to this, but I've been playing a game called Koromon. Koromon is like it's a Pokemon like, where there's a lot of aspects about it that I think they really crush in regards to being a Pokemon game, a Pokemon style game, monster catching game. I've been stuck on this thing, dude. I bought it on Steam on sale, and then I also bought it on mobile, and I connected them. So when I'm not able to play on Steam, I can play on mobile and just keep grinding.
Dude,
it's got my ass, bro.
You get addicted to games like that, like something crazy. Like if it's available on mobile, it hits you so hard.
Look, this game in particular, it's got a shiny system. Like in Pokemon, how it's really rare, but you can sometimes find a shiny.
Yeah.
It might never even happen to you, but it could happen. And then people go shiny hunting. Well, in this game, they have tiers of like rarity of the same Koromon, where like you can get a potent version, and then there's a perfect version. And then the potents are a lot more common, but still pretty rare. And then the perfect is like just as rare as a shiny.
Yeah.
But you can catch a potent, and depending on how potent it is, you can go to a guy and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll level up your potent level 20 to a level 21, which is perfect."
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing, but it makes you really want to grind for a good potent, so then you can grind to upgrade it to be perfect. And then you see a new Koromon that you're like, "Oh, that's a cute little guy. Let me just spend hours trying to find a good potent so I can take him to the guy to get a perfect version of him." And it's not just a color difference like in Pokemon. It's like there's actual stat differences too to having a potent or a perfect. And so it's worth it. It's totally worth it, and not a total waste of time. Okay.
Yeah, it's worth the grind. Have you been playing on your Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
On PC, on Steam Deck, on my iPhone.
Samsung Smart Fridge.
I should be working, but then I'm sitting there catching Koromon and battling, but there's also like the gameplay stuff outside of catching the Koromon it seems like it's also pretty unique. Like the story stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have just a different little refresh on the Pokemon formula. So I like it. Koromon, good game. I have 15 hours in that game.
Oh my god!
And I started like a week ago. Yeah,
it's out of hand. It's out of hand.
It's getting out of hand. But I'm probably gonna keep playing it.
I'm not gonna stop you, but it's out of hand. It's out of hand. It's out of hand.
Look, if you need to have an intervention for me, just let me know and I won't show up.
That's not the way it
So,
works.
ew.
I'm gonna tell
Well,
you it's a Koromon convention.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh man, you'll get me. You'll get my ass. I've also been playing. So, Xbox had a partner preview event, like a stream that where they
Hmm.
showed off a bunch of games, and one of the games that came up where they were like demo available, early access available today, and I was like, oh cool, I'll at least try it. It's a game called Blind Fire,
Hmm.
and it's it's like an arena shooter.
Okay.
Like you're a guy with some guns, but it's lights out, and they use a lot of like black lights,
Hmm.
and you can't see anything. You can barely see anything. There's little silhouettes and little very few light sources, and
Okay.
then you can like shoot a car in the arena, and then the alarm goes off for like a second, and it lights up the person next to it if they're there, or if the person shoots, you can see their muzzle flash. Um, if your teammate dies, they can set off a trap, which can reveal an enemy for a second, and it's really
Interesting.
interesting. If you get close enough, you can see like obstacles in the arena. So it's kind of cool. I think it's an interesting game and a cool concept for a game. And since the partner preview trailer that they played, they've had a max of 21 players at one time. The trailer did nothing for the game.
What?
A max of 21 players. The trailer didn't help at all. And it's kind of
That's
a bummer.
weird.
Now, the early access is $9.
Oh.
So there's a cost associated to diving in. It's not like a free thing, which I was bummed to see, but I was like, I'm willing to give this game a chance. I bought it for $9,
Yeah.
and it took me 5 minutes to find a game, and it was a 1v1. And I
Hmm.
won the first round, and then he quit.
Damn.
And then it took me, I don't even know, hella long to find another game. And it was a 2v2, and we didn't have any levers, but my teammate was crushing it,
Yeah.
crushing it, and I caught on. I got a few kills, and we won the game. And all the while, I'm like refreshing Steam DB on the side to see how many players are there. And after our game, this total player count dropped by 2 from like 7 to 5. And
Oh
I
my
was like,
god.
okay, so me and my teammate were two of them. The two people we
Yeah.
played against probably just closed the game after that, and now there's even less of a chance of us finding another game. And so this game's called Blind Fire, um, and it's not looking good, but it's very early access. It might even
Yeah.
be an alpha. I don't know,
Hmm.
but hopefully they get more marketing in the future, so that they can get more of a chance.
Sounds like laser tag.
Kind of laser tag vibes.
Yeah.
If I guess you can't see too well in laser tag. They got to keep it
No.
dark so you can kind of see the lasers and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah, kind of
And
similar vibe.
do you think that the cost of those early access games just like shoot them in the foot so hard? I mean, like, I feel like some of them like are really high priced, uh like the one that we just shit on a couple episodes ago. I can't even remember what it was called now.
I
Concord?
don't remember.
Concord.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just like I feel like the cost of these games when they're not polished just like is just like a ingredient for the worst reviews the game could get.
it's demo season. You know what I mean? Like right now, Steam Next Fest is going on.
Yeah.
It's demo season. Why not just put out a demo of your game and keep
Yeah.
it live for a few days and get some eyes on it and get
Yeah.
people to play it instead of putting out a trailer saying go play it today and then it being $9. There's a cost,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I don't even know if this game is good. I'm not gonna buy it,
Yeah.
and shooting yourself in the foot, like you said. So
And then
I don't know.
if they buy it though and then it's not polished or it's not going really well or you can't find a player base and then like it leads to like overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam before the
Yeah,
game even comes out. Yeah, I agree. Like a demo would be like that would be just such a good idea. Like
or
in
it would lead to people like me who spent the money coping and saying, please go play it so I have people to play against, and so I didn't waste my money.
yeah.
which isn't a good feeling either.
No. Yeah, I feel like if they put out a demo, you have like a week of gameplay on it. I feel like that could help you so much in the process of just like moving the game forward like light years. Where you could charge $9 for the beta and somebody's gonna play it.
Well, remains to be seen, but hopefully it picks up steam. I don't know. But I've also been playing Silent Hill 2 on my stream recently.
The remake?
I've never played a Silent Hill game. Yeah, the remake. Never played a Silent Hill game, but I'm really enjoying the remake so far. It's been pretty good. There's times when it's really dry, like my throat right now. And it's been tough to like stay awake. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the first games I've ever played on my stream that is kind of putting me to sleep. And that is a big bummer.
Yeah.
But I think that's just early days, early on. And so I ended up standing for, a good part of what I've been playing so far, just to kind of keep myself in it.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of gray, a lot of fog, and a lot of just like softness that's just like, I don't know, it's like blankets for my eyes. Makes me want to go to sleep. I don't know why.
Yeah. I've not played it, but I've seen like what I have seen of it, like the puzzles seem really good.
Yeah.
But the intermediate parts do seem really boring. Like there's just like parts where it's awesome and then parts where nothing happens.
It's top-notch survival horror, like I have just enough bullets to get through an encounter. If I run out of bullets, it's like, oh, I hit it twice with my bat or whatever, my wood plank with nails in it, and I was like just close enough to where I got through the thing. And I don't know, it feels good so far. I like it.
The monsters are crazy looking. The torso with 2 sets of legs.
Oh yeah.
Gross.
I hate those things too. They'll like jump out at you, hit you, and then they'll run away and go and hide behind a shelf. And then you'll like sneak around and you're like, that's you right there. That's you. And you'll shoot it in the leg, one of the legs. And then it'll pop back out and be like, get you again. Ugh. Those guys are freaky. I don't like them.
Yeah, they are freaky.
They're not as bad as the nurses. The nurses with like a lead pipe or a knife, and they're like shambling toward you, and then they see you, and then they start running toward you.
Yeah.
And you got to shoot them in the legs, and then hit them with your lead pipe or whatever.
They're like the Silent Hill monsters are like the Evil Within monsters too. Like they're all so like they're terrifying, dude.
Oh yeah,
terrifying.
The worst part is when you hit them and shoot them enough, and you think they're dead, and so you move on to the next freaky monster, and then from behind you comes the guy you thought you just killed, and he starts trying to hit you again. And it's like, you were dead, I swear.
Yeah, I got you. I double tapped.
Yeah, that's why I keep stomping them in the face when I think they're dead, just to make sure they're dead.
Just to be certain.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is really good. Enjoying that. One more, Mini Royale, one of the demos in Steam Next Fest. It's like I probably talked about this before when I played it before.
Okay.
Because it was in alpha before.
Yeah.
Now it's in Steam Next Fest, and it's like a toy soldier battle royale in like inside of a house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Played that a little bit last night. Pretty good. There's not a lot of players. I wish there were more players, but maybe it's just because I was so late when I played it.
Yeah.
Overall, good little battle royale. Cool take on the whole situation.
That one seems good. That seems like a good game.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Little People Big World.
Such a good concept.
Being like a mini, like just like grounded. Yeah. I like being miniaturized, but then everything around me is familiar and normal sized, relatively. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Did you ever watch the movie Toy Soldiers?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, like something about like that game, that movie. I don't know, like it just like I feel like that concept hits. It seems like such a good thing.
And it's good for a battle royale too. I think it works.
Yeah.
So hopefully they keep working on that and they get a good player base.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, that's it. That's it for me. That's all I've been playing. It's been a good couple weeks though, overall, besides catching some sort of illness.
Yeah.
But I'm bouncing back.
You're
be good by
spitting it all out.
yeah. I'll be good by Monday when I go back to
Nice.
work. And if I'm not,
Oh,
maybe I'll just call in, take the day.
yeah, that kind of sucks that you would be good by the time you get to Monday where you got to go to work.
I know. My whole weekend just consumed with hacking
Yeah.
up a lung.
Ugh. I hate flu season, sick season.
Hopefully this is my one, and then I'll be good for the rest of the year. That's my
I take
hope.
vitamin C gummies.
I don't take vitamins until I start feeling some kind of way, and then I'm like, time to get on it. And
Too late.
It probably helps. Probably helps. I don't know.
It probably helps, but maybe too late.
Doesn't prevent anything. Yeah.
No, yeah, you should be a little bit more preventative.
You know what I'll never prevent though?
What's that?
Our last and final and greatest segment of the Mustache Ride podcast, Play or Pass.
Nice.
Because you know what, Tooth? We love playing video games here at Mustache Ride.
Yeah. I'm going to play more games. I've decided. I see your list all the time. Next episode, I'm going to have a big list. Because I love it too.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll have an even bigger list.
Damn, you probably will.
You shouldn't have told me your plan.
I know.
Anyway, each episode, we spin our great Wheel of Games. Yes. To see what game we're going to play in between episodes individually. Sometimes if it's multiplayer, we'll play it together. Yeah. But typically, individually. And then we come back the following episode and have a good, fun discussion during our Play or Pass segment where we discuss whether or not we each would recommend people play or pass on this game. The game that we'll be talking about tonight is called Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Yeah.
And Tooth is going to tell us a little bit about that, baby.
It's a pretty cool game. We'll talk about some of the other stuff, but just to give you a little heads up, it's a cel-shaded adventuring game developed by Microbird Games, their only game. So it's a dev group out of Austria. And yeah, this is their only game. I don't know how many people are on the team. I couldn't really find that information out, but it seems like a small team. And they released the game out through Curve Games. That's the publisher for it.
Okay.
But it came out July 18th, 2024. This was a Xbox showcase game or a Summer Game Fest showcase game. I can't remember, but it was in one of those. It piqued my interest because the graphic style was so cool. But what it's about, you're armed with a sword, which seems weird, like given the context of the game, but you're armed with a sword and a tourist guide, and you're exploring the beautiful alpine village of Hinterberg to uncover the magic hidden within its dungeons. Weird. Master magic, solve puzzles, slay monsters, and all this awaits you in Hinterberg. Kind of cool.
Yep. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'll start.
Okay, go to dive in.
Overall, I played this game for about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I played like 1 hour here and then another hour there. The first hour, I was like, this game's kind of boring. Not for me. Mm-hmm. Very pretty. Love the graphics. Love looking at it. Not for me. Yeah. The second hour I played it, things changed. And I was like, wow, this game actually, there's more to the combat. There's like charms that you can equip. There's attack conduits, which are basically just like extra attacks you can do.
Yeah.
The puzzles get a little bit tougher and more in depth and makes you think a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just, I don't know, it just makes the gameplay more interesting, more deep. And I appreciated that. So the first impression was a little boring, but then it really started to sink in that, okay, we're really getting into something here. Not to mention, the game, despite being focused on clearing dungeons and getting out, getting loot, getting new gear and stuff, it's also like 50%, maybe 49% of it is focused on chill.
Yeah.
On like
relax
vibes.
Relax. That's one of the key things that you can like grow your like stat tree on is relaxation.
Yeah, I actually wrote down there's three main stats: amusement, three of the main stats: amusement, familiarity, and relaxation.
Yeah.
Which is like you can spend a whole afternoon just sitting on a bench looking at the view instead
Yeah.
of going and clearing a dungeon, which is nice.
Did you try that?
No.
I did.
Okay.
It like goes through with like you sit on a bench. A little more context like with the game, I guess. Like the main character is a lawyer
Yeah.
uh in the city and pretty much hates her life. It's crazy. Like the story is so the whole time I was
Relatable.
relatable. Yeah, I have a clip. I have a clip that I'll play.
Okay.
But then so she's traveling here as a vacation. So
Right.
that's part of the vibe for the relaxation. But you sit on the bench, right? And it just like goes more into that story of like, God, I hate my life.
Yeah, I mean that's straight up. It's
It is.
I like how relatable it is, and it gets more relatable how in depth she goes with like, oh, this problem, that problem, and but I'm
Yeah.
here, I'm on vacation,
I'm doing
I'm here,
it.
I'm on vacation here to slaughter animals. I just one after the other with my sword.
I will
Couldn't get more
say
personal than that.
I
Killing things.
agree with you that it does there's so much killing beyond the relaxation. That I would agree like the first hour is the tutorial.
Hmm.
That's so long
Yeah,
to tutorial for so few things that you can do actually. Like I spent probably 10 minutes looking for how to jump and you can't. There's no jump.
that's one of my clips. It's a really short clip where I
God.
find out you can't jump,
Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Yep.
I don't like it.
All
I
right,
want to jump in games.
I'll play the clip
Okay.
because I have a similar clip.
No jumping in this game? No jumping? Lame.
Yep.
Yeah, straight
Yep.
up.
I had that moment in this experience.
How about that climbing
That's
though?
a
Ugh.
little janky, I think. I just felt like the jumping, the movement for jumping and climbing, so janky.
You just mash A to climb things.
Yeah. Did you play with a controller?
Yeah.
Okay, I played on mouse and keyboard.
Oh, okay. How
I
was
don't
that?
know.
I guess you
That
wouldn't
part's
know.
yeah, that part's janky. Like the jumping is janky, or not, the lack of jumping and the
Yeah.
climbing was a little um too. I don't. That's interesting. I'll have to play it on controller to see how the combat changes.
Yeah, the combat is just a little dry, but then like I said,
Yeah,
once you unlock more stuff, it feels a little bit more in depth. Like you have more
yeah.
options in combat and it feels a little better.
The
And
mat.
then also as you get further in, there's more different types of enemies,
Mhm.
which also switches things up and it feels a little better. So
The
yeah.
magic is kind of cool. Like I felt like the beginning things that you get, like you get this giant grenade that's sort of like the thing from Breath of the Wild, like the little
Yeah.
bombs you can throw. It's pretty similar.
Like a big
Um,
boulder that you can blow
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Did any of the monsters like totally just freak you out? There's one specific for me that I was like, that thing is
The one
freaky.
with the long noodle head, and then he sticks his head in the ground, and then his head pops up somewhere else.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
what the heck?
He's got like a goat head.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't even
like
notice that.
it's like some weird goat giraffe thing.
Ugh.
I was like, what in the whole world is that thing?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Um. Yeah. One quick thing I want to say about the story is
Yeah.
that the like you said the tutorial is kind of long,
Yeah.
and they do a lot to set up characters and like what you're doing there. And like you said, she's a lawyer. She's on vacation.
Yeah.
So I guess she heard about how a bunch of dungeons just popped up one day 3 years ago in Hinterberg.
Yeah.
And then since then, that 3 years, where all these dungeons, Hinterberg in general, where all the dungeons popped up, just became some amusement park where people can come and become slayers, or
Yeah.
people that come and clear the dungeons and kill the monsters. And that's not enough for me. I'm sure there's more there's got to be more to it
I
later
think
on in the game, but
yeah.
that's lame.
I think there's a lot more story to it. Did you find the guy that looks like the old man from Up, but young and
Yeah,
bald?
Oliver or something, or what? I
Yeah.
forget his name.
So I don't want to spoil too much, but he talks about like the magic that's popped up in other places and how there's like a connection between all of the magic that's popped up in other places. But I don't know how deep it gets beyond that's weird. There's magic that pops up places.
Right.
Let's figure it out. Um so maybe it gets a little bit more in depth, but it's hard to tell right now.
It's just not a strong enough concept. I think they really rely on the relatability of wanting to just leave your life and go do something
Yeah.
else and adventure.
Yeah.
But then what you're adventuring is just these dungeons popped up and we're going to go look in them and
Yeah.
kill the monsters inside. And they make sure to make a point that the monsters are not sentient. They make did you read that?
Yeah, yeah. It's
She's
like
like, "Are
a
they sentient?" And he's like, "Oh no, they're not, like they don't think." In
yeah.
case you're wondering. And it's like, I'm glad you said that, but also
Yeah.
you're making me think like maybe they are later on. Like maybe one of
Yeah.
them's gonna talk to me one day, and I'll be like,
What?
I've been slaughtering all of you guys, and you're gonna tell me you're gonna say something to me now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That could be the buildup. I'll play this clip about the relatability because when
Yeah.
I was like this is like the beginning. The office, bleeding into one another, short weekends spent on the couch doing nothing but recovering from the work stress. God, this game is literally about me. That's exactly what I thought. Like that's on the car ride to Hinterberg, and
Yeah.
you're talking to Sherman Cool on the way to
Oh, look at that
Hinterberg.
dude
With the mustache, that's Sherman Cool.
With the guy driving?
The guy driving looks just like you.
That's me.
And
Driving a taxi, hating my life.
oh, look at that dude. And I was like, the whole time you're riding to Hinterberg, and you're just like, God, dude, what a bummer.
Yeah, it's
You're
like,
bumming
man,
me out.
I do feel sometimes like with my monotonous day job, day-to-day life
Yeah.
that I want to just get away and kill things. You know what I mean? Just with
Yeah.
the knife, just like go and just kill a bunch of stuff. Use magic powers to slaughter a bunch of little guys.
Yeah.
So it is very relatable.
Super relatable.
One thing I do want to talk about is the characters, because they put a lot of emphasis on the
Mhm.
characters.
Yes.
You have so the gameplay is broken up. The gameplay loop is basically like you have a morning conversation with somebody over some coffee or something, then you head out to a dungeon, complete the dungeon by solving puzzles and killing monsters, and then you get a stamp in your journal, and then you leave the dungeon. Then you come back in the evening, you do some shopping, and then you choose one friend to hang out with and build your friendship level with them.
Yeah.
Each time you hang out with somebody and build up a friendship level, you unlock something. And they're usually pretty substantial things. So it's really worth it to go and build a friendship with somebody and hang out. And so, like, the very first friend you meet, her name is Alex. And just for goofs, I shut her down and denied. I said no. I was rude to her.
Dang. Yeah.
And so this clip is probably the longest clip. It's Alex doesn't take no for an answer, is what I called it. Rough first day.
Oh, dang.
What's it to you? I've seen your stare on a dozen first timers. Always says the same thing.
Oh, I didn't say that. Same exact voice. Same exact thing.
This was a mistake.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'd rather be alone right now. Believe me, love, that's a bad idea.
Okay, now it's starting to
Okay,
change.
I'd rather be alone. Okay, do you mind if I sit? What the? I literally just said I'd rather be alone, and you're just ignoring me. I don't want to talk about it. Look, can we not talk about this? I'm still processing everything. What exactly did you think you were going to find here? Bro, I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to keep being I'm just gonna keep her shut out. Look, I don't know you.
What are they drinking? That's funny.
I don't know, but either way, it's like I don't know you, and she just keeps going and talking. It's like, bro, I don't want to be your friend. Are you gonna make me spell it out to you, Alex?
That's
I don't want to
funny.
be your friend, but then you have to be your friend, and there's eventually you don't get a choice of what dialogue to use, and you're just
Yeah.
friendly with her. And so it's like, don't even give me the option to be rude if you're not gonna honor that
Yeah.
and take that in stride. So
And
that was kind of funny, but I don't hold that against the game,
that is
I
funny
guess.
because the dialogue is exactly the same almost. Like if you go the other route, because I went the nice route,
Yeah.
like the dialogue sequence is almost exactly the same. So that is kind of weird. Like I feel like there should be like your renown goes down or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Like
could
your
be
friendship level
yeah,
doesn't build up
yeah,
because you didn't make a friend.
Yeah. You should have that option because
The illusion of choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer though.
Yeah, but overall I do like the idea of building friendships with people in the village in Hinterberg
Yeah.
and then getting something out of it. And it's funny because I think Alex herself, she gives you like a journal of all the people in Hinterberg that you can meet and be friends with.
Yeah.
And specifically what you'll unlock if you hang out with them and build your friendship level. And then there's an option saying that's not right or something like that. And so Luisa says, like, that's not right. Like, you're just going to see what people will give you. Like, you're only going to hang out with people if they give you something good. And then Alex tries to justify it in some way. She's like, no, it's not like that. It's like, if you don't want to hang out with somebody, just don't.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I that's a little fourth wall breaky. I kind of get what you're going for there. So
that's funny.
yeah.
It is a cool concept that the friends you make give you different things, like, and I feel like the tutorial is even more stretched out then because you start like learning new things, like when you get a charm or a different piece of armor or something like that. Like I feel like it teaches you how to move through it. And I feel like maybe this could have been because I was on mouse and keyboard, but I felt like I was just like hitting the wrong button every time I got something new because I was always trying to like run. Like I was always trying to run or jump, and I was hitting the keys for run and jump that would normally be in a game, and they just weren't there. And then it would like mess me up and like on like efficiently using the cool stuff that you get.
You gotta try. You gotta try controller.
I gotta try.
I think that's the only way. Yeah.
I think that messed up my thing. How did you feel about the combat? The combat, I thought, even after 2 hours, got a little dry.
I thought that the layers, at least in the early game that I played, they layered it on appropriately. So like initially it was pretty boring. Then they added magic, which gave it some. You had some more options within combat. Yeah. And then they added the charms and the weapon, or the weapon. What is it called?
Yeah,
friggin'.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
I have it written down right here.
It's a weird name.
Hold on.
Yep.
Attack conduits.
Yeah, the attack conduits.
That would have killed me if I didn't say it. But they layer on these different elements, and it's like, okay, it's getting a little deeper and more to manage, and I like that.
Yeah. And
then like I found a new sword, and I was like, oh, sick, new sword. I like finding new stuff. I like that. And so it warmed up a little bit, and I ended up liking it. And then the next layer is the different kinds of enemies that you find. Like, I have a clip of the final boss of the very first dungeon that you go into, so it's not really that big of a spoiler, but we're gonna show the last boss. I sped it up, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Just because I didn't want it to take forever, but dude, you get a good vibe. It's not normally this fast.
This one was hard.
Oh, really?
I thought when I was first fighting her that I was like, oh, this was like seems a little tough for the first boss.
Yeah.
But like I beat her first try, but it was still like I was like, oh, this seems like like a difficult one compared to the tutorial boss.
Yeah, yeah. This is a step up for sure.
Because
But not too bad. And it makes you wonder where it's gonna go with the with the different kinds of enemies. That was a cool new enemy. I like that.
Well, I would say the tutorial boss was a puzzle. And so I thought all of the dungeon bosses were going to be puzzle like, but they don't seem to be that way so far.
Yeah.
For me to spice it up, I went into a level 3 dungeon.
Oh.
And I ended up getting through it. I died once in it, but I got through it. But that was kind of nifty. Like to go
I'm
through.
curious how that was. That probably switched things up for you. Kind of gave you a challenge.
It did. There were a lot more encounters. Like almost every place you went into, there was an encounter that you hit, and there was just multiple spawns of monsters. And so there would be like little ones that would pop up like mid fight when you almost had killed the other ones. And so that was kind of cool.
But then if you're under leveled, then everything is a sponge and it takes forever to kill.
It did,
kill them, right?
It took forever to kill them.
I bet.
But I had to use like all the magic abilities. The world. Did you get the whirlwind?
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
It bugs me you can't stay still. So you have to keep like moving around the little arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a little while.
Pretty fun.
I thought it was just gonna like automatically move you to enemies, but you had to like point to where you want to go.
Yeah.
So I thought it would auto lock.
Yeah, but overall, really pretty game. I love the colors. I love the art style.
Yeah.
The combat it gets better. It gets better and better, but I think it plateaus. It will plateau eventually. I just hope they keep, putting in new enemies. And the puzzles. What do you think about the puzzles? I thought they were pretty decent, and they got better as time went on. Like I thought they made me think, but not too much. On one of them, I got stuck a little bit, and then I finally figured it out. And I think that's a good place to be.
Yeah, I felt like the puzzles were pretty decent. I think every now and then I would get stuck on something that I'm like, where do I even go? Like, because there's a part where you have to get into a minecart, and then that cart takes you through the door and it opens it. And I was like, there was one that I just like opened the door and I was like, what happens next? It was in the level 3 dungeon, I think. And or it might not have been. And I didn't even think about it, but then I like walked up the path and I looked back and there was just like a pressure plate on the floor that I had to drop the giant ball on.
Oh.
And I was like, duh. Like, and I feel like that's some of the things that the puzzles aren't like super difficult, but if you're trying to move too quickly, you can overlook some of the really like finer details of it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, yeah, I like the puzzle aspect of it. I think that's I think they nailed the difficulty of them, and I'm sure they're going to get more and more interesting, or at least more interesting. And I like how each puzzle really uses the magic that you have to a good extent.
Yeah, I feel like it does too. I think it did remind me a lot of Breath of the Wild puzzles. Like there was
the shrines.
Yeah, the shrines. There was one that I went into where like you had to move a bunch of platforms around to line up a minecart path.
Okay.
And that one I was like, the whole time I was like, what am I even doing? Like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do, because the camera angle shifts in that shrine or in that dungeon part, and you're top down, like axonometric, so to give you the view that you're able to walk around and see what's going on. That
Did
aspect
you
is
say axonometric?
Cool. Yeah.
Is that a word?
Axonometric, yeah.
Axonometric?
Yeah, that's the top. That's like the 45-degree angle, top-down angle view.
I've never heard that word in my life.
Dang, dude. Get with the times.
Axonometric.
Axonometric. Write that
Sorry,
down.
I didn't mean to throw you off. I just
write that down. Look that up. But
I wouldn't even know how to spell it if I tried.
That's
ASKO
And no,
and no
AX.
something like that.
Oh, buddy. But the camera angle change was cool. One thing that I thought is that each area would have one dungeon. Not
Nope.
the case. There's 25 dungeons in this game. Lots of content, at least for the type of game. No, not third person.
I always call it isometric, like an isometric camera.
Yeah, that's similar. Axonometric's is a different angle.
That's so many syllables, but hey, look.
God, yeah.
Either way, axonometric is kind of awesome.
It is.
Like that's a cool word.
It's a cool
dude. Just cut to the chase. All right. Would you play this? Would you recommend people play this, or would you recommend people pass on this game, Dungeons of Hinterberg?
It is $30 US if you do not have Xbox Game Pass.
Right.
It is free on Xbox Game Pass, and so I'll say play with the caveat that I personally would probably not pay $30 for this game.
Fair.
It's just it looks really great. The play is good, but I think if I were to play the demo, I'd be like 24 hours worth of content, because that's the amount of time it takes on average to 100% this game for $30. Seems a little limited to me.
So play?
Yeah. If you have
play asterisk.
Play asterisk if you have Game Pass.
Okay.
Or you get it for free.
I can see this game because it's not just like a regular dungeon crawler. It's a dungeon crawler with a chill twist, a chill vibe twist. And I think that's a really good original take on a dungeon crawler.
That's true.
I can see this really resonating with some people. I'm not that kind of person. I don't love it. I wish it were something else. But I love how it looks. I love certain aspects of it. Like I like that you can make friends and that is actually beneficial to you. But it just takes a lot of time, and I don't care what anybody has to say because it's just not for me.
You don't want to make friends.
I want to make friends, but I want them to shut up. You know what I mean?
Dang,
like I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to make friends. That's what that's called.
I want what they're gonna give me.
Damn.
I want to be like, yeah. Okay, just give me the thing. Give me the upgrade.
Wow.
Yeah. We're friends. Yeah, we're chill.
Wow.
But I want the thing.
Wow. You see people? You see what kind of person this is? You see?
No, it's when I play games. It's not real life. In real life, I care.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So I would say it really depends. For me, it's a pass. I love.
That's fair.
How it looks, but for me, it's a pass because it's not my kind of game.
Yeah.
I probably won't go back to this game, and spend all the time going through all the dungeons, doing all the puzzles. But it's like a light pass, really light pass. It's verging on the line of play and pass, where my own opinion really just pushes it onto pass for me. So if you're like me, pass. If you're not like me, and it all sounds like what we're talking about sounds like something you would like, play it. But if you're like me, pass. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. It looks like the game would be fast paced. It's not. It's slow, but it is a vacation. But
it's a vacation.
There is that. Yeah.
These dungeons just popped up one day.
They just popped up so weird, and now we're gonna spend money.
Now we're gonna spend money and kill things.
Yeah.
Big tourist attraction, killing monsters.
I feel like a lawyer would be like, "How is this legal?" Which she does say in the game. She does. I don't remember that. But that would make sense. Yeah.
Questioning the legality. She's like, "Are these things sentient?"
Is any?
Oh no, they're not sentient. Don't worry about that. They don't think or talk or anything like that. So don't worry. They're just here. I wonder. I'm kind of curious to look it up and just so I don't have to play the whole game, but just to look it up and see like, is there a twist to that toward the end? Because that would kind of be more intriguing.
That would be intriguing, actually.
I'll look it up later. I'll spoil myself. We don't need to spoil the people.
You know what else is intriguing?
Tell me.
The next game that we're going to play after we spin. The Great Wheel of Games.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to spin the Great Wheel of Games to see what game we're going to play next and discuss next episode. But before we spin the Great Wheel of Games, we have to add a couple games to the wheel. And I'll tell you what, Tooth, the wheel lately looking pretty great. There's a lot of games on there. It's getting greater and greater.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of it.
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
And so basically we add 2 games and take one away. So we're adding 1 game every single episode, and it's just going to keep going up. And we're going to fall behind eventually.
Nah.
But that's what makes it so great.
We're going to get one of the games and we're going to be like, what is that? And that's going to be good. It's going to be a good game.
What game do you want to add to the wheel this time?
All right, I've done it. This is literally has non-game in the title.
Oh.
And so something about this, I'm like, I don't want to add it. It's not really a game, but I'm going to add it anyway because I want to figure out what it is. It's $3.84, pretty cheap. It's called Yugo, the Non-Game. It's a virtual space where you can drive a car, listen to the radio, and invite people to talk and share the experience with.
Oh.
It's an online multiplayer game where people just get in and you just chat it up on a drive. And that seems kind of interesting to me. And so I want to see what that's about.
Interesting. Okay. Yugo, the Non-Game. It's not a game. You're just vibing.
It's not a game. It's just vibing, but it is a game. It's on Steam. I don't know. It was similar to, it says it's similar to Slacker's Cards of Glory. I don't know how, but that's what Steam says. So
is there like prox chat where you can actually talk?
That's what it is. Yeah. It's sort of like, I imagine it's like Omegle meets car conversation, but the reviews are very positive on it.
Have you ever been in a car like late night driving and you just get in some deep conversation with someone? Like
that's literally what it says. I think you wrote that review. You've probably played this game.
Okay. I like the vibe.
It's a weird vibe, but $3.84. I'm willing to check them vibes.
Throw it on the wheel.
Yeah. It's on the wheel. How about you? What are you adding?
I'm adding a game that couldn't be more different than the game that you're adding.
Good.
Yeah, I've actually been following this game for a while, and I've been looking forward to its release. I haven't gotten to it yet since it released on September 26th, and I figure I can wait a little longer, add it to the wheel, and play it whenever we end up spinning it. It's a game called Mouthwashing. It's a psychological horror, atmospheric thriller. Super weird. I'll just come out and say that right away. Very weird. I'll read the description real quick. It's very short. The 5 crew members of the Tulpar are stranded in the empty reaches of space, shrouded in perpetual sunset. God is not watching. And it looks really weird. It's called Mouthwashing.
Sounds weird.
I'll just leave it at that, but I hope we roll it soon, spin it soon, because I want to play it and I want to hear what you have to think about it, and I want to see what this game has to offer. It's only like 2.5, 3 hours long, so it's not a super long experience, but it is $13, so not too cheap, but not too expensive.
Yeah, that puts like a stakes on it. You know what I mean? Like it's like, would you really play it again? You bought it for $13. Would you buy it for $13?
Recommend it? Yeah. Would you recommend somebody spend $13 on this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. You ready for this?
Spin that wheel.
Okay. Oh, you lucky dog, you.
This is not rigged, people. This is not rigged.
Lucky dog, you.
Nice. Mouthwashing.
Dang, I'm not going to be able to eat dinner tomorrow. I'm going to have to pay $13 for this game.
I know I get paid on Monday, so I might have to wait till then because I'm kind of broke. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, I'm gonna give up dinner tomorrow.
That's okay. Ice soup, ice water soup.
Ice soup. Yeah.
Nice. So the next game for Player Pass that we'll be discussing next episode is called Mouthwashing. Feel free, spend $13 and play it with us, or wait for our conclusion and see whether or not you should play or pass on this game. But that's it for this episode 68 of Mustache Ride Podcast in the books.
Yeah.
Any final words for the people at home, Tooth?
I think that you should take some time, just relax. You know, your days are stressful. Sit on a bench, think about it, go kill something. You know, just go do it.
Casual.
It's just casual. Yeah, just go do it.
Love it.
But we're not liable for that. And for all intents and purposes, I would never tell you to do anything like that.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. But also, like,
Shouldn't.
come on.
Saturday.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Mustache Ride. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.